Hello everyone! So today I've been awake since 3:34 a.m. I have a paper due today and it is due before class time, so I woke up especially early to get it done this morning. I spent all day yesterday researching and outlining. I had all my thoughts down on paper. Today it was a matter of making everything a little bit more cohesive because basically the skeleton was there, but I just needed to add some meat to the bones. And since I have been a student for a very long time, a 6 to 8 page paper is not that intimidating, but it is a matter of still putting in the effort and putting in the time. So it did require waking up early and making sure I did everything to the best of my ability. So today is going to be an extraordinarily long day. So I'm going out to Starbucks and I'm going to go get a salad because otherwise class is going to be extra long today. So here's hoping a little energy boost helps. Heading out to class for the day. I don't want to talk too loudly and disturb the neighbors or have them think I'm crazy for talking to a camera. So I am heading to class to turn in the paper I woke up to finish, so I am excited to officially have that checked off the to-do list. My absolute favorite class this spring is my Paradise Lost course at Georgetown University. I genuinely look forward to these classes and really enjoy doing the readings. There's something so fun about being in a room filled with people who love literature as much as you do and want to discuss it just as badly. For those of you who are new to my channel, I will just mention my master's degree is from Georgetown. Whenever I go to class, I feel as if I'm going back home because I love Georgetown. I love going to my classes at Georgetown. The campus is beautiful and it just feels so familiar. If you'd like any more information on my time at Georgetown, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section. I definitely feel a very positive vibe when I'm there. The campus itself is absolutely beautiful. It is my favorite campus in DC. This building is the famous Healy Hall. Whenever there is an important figure who comes to campus, they will probably be giving their lecture inside of this building. And obviously today no one is visiting the campus, otherwise there would be a line of students wrapping around the entire sidewalk area. It is very easy to tell when something is going on campus. And yes, I do take the elevator because of my backpack. Nobody wants to climb stairs with an extra 30 pounds on them. I just don't. So now it is time to walk home. So the exciting part of after leaving class. Get a little tour of DC. I honestly believe that the Georgetown area is one of the nicest in DC. It is absolutely stunning. Everything is just brick. The area is very clean. There's always just the right amount of people nearby. I also really like the setup of the streets because while it is very city-esque, it is not overwhelming with skyscrapers. This downtown area is probably my favorite. DC is broken down into different areas, and this one in particular is the one I think is the most visually appealing because while the architecture is really beautiful, it's not overwhelming. Whereas if I were to keep walking 30 blocks down, there would be more of those larger buildings. And while I think they are also stunning, it is a different type of beauty that they offer. And that building to the right is the very famous Dean and DeLuca's. When I was a first year graduate student, I was in Dean and DeLuca's one day, and I'm pretty sure I saw Anton Scalia before he passed away. I didn't run over to him or ask for an autograph, and I didn't do anything, but I was pretty sure it was him. And then one of my professors had mentioned she saw him in there previously, so I know there are some high-profile people who go into Dean and DeLuca's. So if you ever come to DC and check out that location, make sure you keep an eye open because you might see a political figure or two. This area also gets a lot of tourists. The worst is when they are in a group and they stop in the middle of the sidewalk and they block the flow of foot traffic. That usually gets some of the locals a little frustrated. So if you ever do come to the city and you're in a group, my advice is don't block the sidewalk because you'll probably get a nasty look or two. Things are not as chaotic as they were a little while ago, thank goodness, but DC always has something going on. Next week for my artist date, I'm going to go to the Kennedy Center to see Sheer Madness. But since this week is extraordinarily busy with schoolwork and the semester is in full swing, I'm just going to take a little pit stop on my way home and go check out Old Stone House right in the middle of Georgetown. There is something very striking about the Old Stone House because it is located right in the middle of the city, surrounded by all of the new buildings, all of the new stores. It's surrounded by very modern features, yet all of a sudden, if you look up, you see this old house. It doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the surroundings, yet somehow you always have to remind yourself that the house was there first, yet everything else is what's encroaching on its territory. Admittedly, I have probably seen Parks and Recreation far too many times to count, so whenever I see anything having to do with the park, I immediately think of that show and Leslie Knope. Seeing Old Stone House. You can also see some of the famous DC cherry blossoms in the background. And in case anyone is curious, I am quite literally walking around with my Canon camera. It is not an incognito camera by any stretch of the imagination. I am walking around with the camera out, but nobody seems to care. That alone implies just how often people are walking around with cameras here in DC. Nobody seems to mind because they're so desensitized to it already. Even though summer is the peak tourist time here in DC, with people walking around everywhere, there are still families coming into DC to take tours of all of the nearby universities. There's never really a lull when it comes to life in DC. Even though DC is a beautiful area and it's always surrounded by hustle and bustle with people coming and going, I really do enjoy staying home and reading my books. I don't really listen to audiobooks, but if I were to, I would probably complete a few of them on my walks to and from classes. I prefer instead to listen to music or podcasts. My walks to and from class are the only time I'm not near my computer looking up something or researching something for school or working on one of my novels or something. It's the only time that I really just get to disconnect, and I enjoy that. I'm still walking home. It's a little bit of a trek, but DC is really pretty. Everything is brick for the most part. I am still getting used to vlogging, so hopefully these angles aren't too bad, but be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you think about life in DC. But be sure to let me know down below in the comments section what you like and what you don't like, and then I'll try to listen to you and make things better in the next video.